Hello, welcome to episode 12 of Coffee with Coach Caffey. Today, this episode is titled, You're Not Helpless. And so, kind of a interesting title, but I've been thinking about that a good bit this week. And what I mean by that is oftentimes people think that a situation is hopeless and that there's nothing they can do about their circumstances they find themselves in. You know, back when I was a very young coach, just a couple of years out of college, I took a job at Big Spring High School in the spring. I guess it was going into my fourth year of coaching. And so I went over there for spring football. And Coach Harris had just taken that job, and he was installing his system, and so we, Coach Purser and I, Bob Purser and I, we went down to help him get everything set up in the spring, and so we weren't supposed to have to teach any classes, and so I was there a week or so, and then Coach Harris called me in and said, "Hey, you know, there's a coach that's having some trouble in his classes, and they're taking him out of the classroom here at the end of school. Things have gotten out of control in his classroom." Just the thought of that just made me angry, you know. But anyway, they asked me to take some of his classes, and Coach Purser took the others, and we went over there for a few hours to Ronald's Middle School for, each day. And so first day I walked into that classroom, the principal had told me he didn't care what they did, said I could have them all take out a piece of paper and just copy the textbook, you know, or do whatever. I just had to get control of that class. And this group of kids walked in. They were so smug. They had run this adult professional out of the classroom. Their behavior was so bad, and so I watched them file in and sit down, and I tell you what, that was young Coach Caffey back in those days, and I was pretty fiery, and first thing I did is I gave them pretty serious chewing, and got in their face, and you know, and really intimidated them, and so I never had any trouble, but just the thought that, you know, that coach had lost hope in being able to control his classroom just made me so angry, and I was bound and determined that was not going to happen. That those kids were not. That's one thing those kids were going to learn was respect teachers, and so. I guess after that, they thought I did pretty good with that type of situation. I became the in-school suspension teacher after that. But, you know, many times I listen to parents, you know, when a kid is in trouble at school, he's usually also trouble at home. And, you know, you have a parent conference with the parents, and they say, "Oh, I just can't do anything with him." And again, that just makes me so angry, you know, because you're the parent. Somehow you lost control of that situation, and it makes me angry to hear people say, "I can't," you know. And then the other thing that makes me angry is when I hear somebody say, "Well, I just can't," you know, you talk to them about your situation, they say, "Oh, I got this problem and I got that problem," and you know, I think, and I just can't get it going. I can't get my situation straightened out. So that bothers me. You know, that old LSU saying that I had up on my wall is, "Those that say it can't be done are usually being passed up by those that are doing it." And so, you know, what I want to encourage everyone today is take ownership of your situation. Stop making excuses and take ownership of it. Now you say, "Well, I can't, you know, I've tried my best and I just can't do it. Well, have you tried praying? You know, that's one of the things that I think that it's a valuable tool in your toolbox. Pray. Ask for God's guidance. Ask for His direction, and then you got a chance. I think you can just about turn any situation around. But you know, oftentimes people, they put it on themselves. They try to use their own plan, and things don't go that well for them. 1 John 2:17 says, "The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever." So search for the will of God in every situation, and then pray that God would guide you through these situations. You know, one of the prayers I pray most often is that God will let people see the good in me, and I think that's a valuable prayer for anyone, that other people might see them in a positive way. Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Well, you know, people have misunderstood that scripture a good bit over. They think, well, I can do anything. As a Christian, I can be a pro football player, or I can be a millionaire, or I can do all of those different kinds of things that people might aspire to do, all of those great goals that they might set for themselves. Well, that's not exactly what that's talking about. Paul's talking about, before that, he's talking about being content in all circumstances. He says, I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. And so, that's what Paul's talking about. You can be content in any circumstance. And so oftentimes I think we forget that. We forget that part about being content. And a lot of times you let that unhappiness run your situation. So you walk around, angry at the world, or angry at your principal, or angry at your kids that you coach, and so or just feeling helpless, and so you ruin your situation by your mental attitude being so negative. Not much is ever done without hope, and so you have to have hope, and that hope is through Jesus Christ. Another scripture just right above that says, "I'll rejoice in the Lord always." I'll say it again, rejoice. You gotta find some happiness in life, or you'll bring everybody down around you. And so be happy in your situation, be content in your situation, and realize that your situation, you are the leader, you are the one that's in charge, you are the one that owns your situation. Jeff, not long ago, gave me a book called Extreme Ownership, and it's about Navy SEALs, and that's a good book. You should try to look that up and read it. And it talks really about taking responsibility of your own situation, and you don't try to do it by yourself, though. That's the key that a lot of people miss out. They try to work their way out or figure their own way out of it, when God's wisdom and God's grace is right there to help you get through it. So that's my message for today. Today I'm wearing my Winners Blizzard t-shirt to honor that great team that I had there. They were 10-2. And we had a great turnaround, one of the best turnarounds that I guess it might have been the best turnaround I've ever been a part of. we went from 2-8 one year to 10-2 the next year. So it was a lot of fun. And like I said, we had some great players on that team. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.